Now that I've got a suitable arrow made, I need a bow to shoot it with. And one excellent way to do that is to take two tapered limbs. You can see each one is about as tall as I am. And you just lash them together. See? I just lashed these together in 3 spots and put a quick string on it. And as you can see, I can draw it back full length and it doesn't break. And of course, knocking an arrow on the string is an easy thing. And what's wrong with that? And of course, the larger a diameter of wood that you have right here in this area makes for a stronger pull. This bow has about a 10-pound pull to it, which, yeah, that isn't a whole lot, but that's enough to spearfish with. It's enough to hunt rabbits with, or squirrel. And if you're hunting deer or bear or something like that, something you'd want 90 pounds of pull with, you'd want to get some larger branches. Yeah, a branch maybe about this thick. You can see, just by my hand how thick that is. And of course you can see by this here how much skinnier this is. So if you want a stronger bow that's made with this method, all you got to do is just get some thicker sticks. This kind of a bow draws right, shoots right, and in a survival situation, you just can't ask for any better. Now, I've made a lot of bows in the past by, splitting out a piece of wood and scraping it down with a knife and tapering both ends of it till both ends are just right. But making that kind of a bow, and especially in a survival situation, really isn't practical. And I've found a lot of times when you go through all the work of doing that, when you pull that bow back to shoot the very first arrow, one of the prods will snap in half and all your work is ruined. So whenever I make a bow to survive with, I just make a bow like this. Okay? This kind of a bow right here always works perfect for me. And when I need to count on it the most, it's always there for me. It doesn't break. So after I've done all the work of making arrows, especially a good one like this, I want a bow that I can depend on. It just sailed about 70 yards. There it is. Well, I got some dirt on it. Didn't break. Alright. So you can start out with a chunk of wood like this to build a bow out of. And you can split it, you can taper both ends, go through all the work of scraping it smooth and making sure both of your prods are the same length and same diameter and all that. But 3 days from now, when you're still working on your bow, I will have had 2 3/4 days in hunting, because this bow right here literally took me about 10 minutes to make. And just to show you up close how I put it together, so I used honeysuckle vines. See? And I just lashed it the same way you would a tripod. See? And of course this one's got branches on the end. Just tied a simple overhand knot in my cord. This is a cord I brought with me. If I needed to, I could have used pine tree root or a nice honeysuckle vine for the string, but they can snap, they wear out easy, so I've got cordage like this, I try to use it for a bowstring because it holds up a little bit better. But a root would have worked just as well, though they do wear out more quickly. Although any hardwood will work to make a bow with, probably the best wood to use is from the cedar tree or the fir tree. They have nice, perfectly tapered limbs that just really work well with this two-stave bow method. But of course, remember, any hardwood that has tapered limbs like this does will work. This is off the cork tree, cork oak. The Osage orange, or sourwood, is a traditional wood that the Native Americans used to make their bows out of. And the bows they were making were very similar to this right here. So this in a survival situation will give you the best possible chances of hunting your animals. And even the forked knock arrow that I showed you how to make, I just shot it a minute ago and you saw it flew perfect. So they're both highly recommended methods of doing your work, and it'll definitely get your job done. I'll have to shoot that again. Knocking on the string. All right. See? Tail of my arrow, my knock, is just a forked stick, and it fits over the string really well. And as you see, I've shot it twice, and it didn't stick, didn't bind up, didn't refuse to come off of there. It worked perfect. So don't be afraid of trying to make bows and arrows, because bows and arrows are a pretty simple thing to do. And if you take my recommendations, you'll see how it's the easiest thing ever. Now, if you had several days to build a bow, like I said, you could carve one out and taper it to both ends, make it all just perfect. But those bows tend to break, and a lot of the professionals, you'll find they'll take and face the front of it with sinew. They'll lacquer it and they'll face the front of it with sinew to reinforce it from breaking, or they'll layer the wood like most of your store-bought common bows are all laminated arrangements that have fiberglass or polycarbon fibers all sandwiched together, and that's to prevent them from breaking. And you won't find any kind of a bow maker out there that uses a two-prod tapered arrangement. Fred Bear used to make one. And this is the best possible suggestion I could make to you for having a usable bow out in the wilderness, and something that you can make in 10 to 15 minutes that'll last you for months or years even, if you choose to keep it. This two-prod survival bow right here is the best bet. And as you can see, it just pulls back full length, and it doesn't creak and crack, doesn't try to break. And you can watch the prod on the very end. You see I'm overextending it right now, and you can see how it just travels back like it's supposed to. So this offers you the best possible chances of having a bow that works out in the wilderness, and you don't have to spend 3 or 4 days making one. It's, like I said, this one took me 10 minutes, and it's done.